Hi, so you've written an offer. You probably didn't sign it actually on physical paper. You probably signed it electronically. But what happens now? Your agent will send it over to the listing side. The listing side will present it to their seller. They will go over all of the information with them and they will get you a response by the response date, ideally. Sometimes you'll find that you're competing and the listing agent will let everyone know that there's a deadline. Sometimes that deadline is actually after your response date that's written in the contract. So it'll be up to you whether you say, all right, we'll give the seller a little more time, or nope, we're sticking hard to our deadline. We want a response by then, or we're moving on. Up to you. Usually, if you really want the house, you're willing to say, all right, fine, we'll give you some more time. But if not, if you're not competing, they will get you an answer typically by the response time. Every now and then there's exceptions, like if it's an estate and there's multiple sellers, they might need a little more time if they're in different states or something like that. The vast majority of the time, they will get you a response by their response date. Then the seller has an option of saying, yes, we love your offer, we'll take it. They sign off on it and boom, you're under contract if they've made no changes to the document. Or they could say, no, thank you. We don't even want to work with you at all. Doesn't usually happen like that, but they could say that. So the most common thing that happens is the seller will give you some sort of counter offer. So if we just talk pretend numbers, let's say the house is listed for $200,000 and you offer them $190,000 and you are also asking the seller to give you $5,000 in seller's help. That is a $15,000 light offer. So, and you also are putting in there a closing date. So let's say you put in there a closing date of 45 days. The seller could potentially say, thank you for your offer, but we need to counter offer. We would like to settle sooner. So we would like settlement to be more like 30 days instead of 45 days. And $15,000 is a little bit too light. So we are willing to give you the $5,000 in seller's assistance because maybe you really, really need that. But we'd like you to pay $200,000 for the house. So then there's two things that can happen. They can actually write those changes right on the contract, sign off on it, and send it back to the buyer in the hopes that the buyer just signs it. Or the listing agent can talk to the buyer's agent and say, look, this is what we're thinking. Let me know what your buyer says. Then the buyer's agent will talk to the buyer, and the buyer, let's say they say, okay, we'll do it. Then the buyer's agent at that point would make the changes to the document. The buyer signs off, initials the changes on the document. We send it back to the seller and the seller says, awesome, and they sign off on it. And that's when you're under contract. If you like this video, if you found it helpful, please like, comment, and subscribe. And again, if there's anything you want me to cover, just let me know and I'll do my best.